So talking about the Nobel Prize in Literature 2024 goes to Han Kang. So she is from South Korea. So empathetic explorer of historical trauma and personal loss. So her writings constitutes diverse body of books. So she's been writing about the peaceful student demonstrations. They were violently suppressed by Korean military. Then White Book is another related to contribution 2017 Greek lessons. A woman who has lost the ability to speak learns ancient Greek from a teacher, slowly losing her vision. We do not part 2025 recovers and reframes the history of Jeju massacre through the lens of female relationships. So we can search more about what is Jeju massacre. Prerna. So these are the frequent themes which we are seeing. So even Vietnam War, important part of world history, possible for humans to live a perfectly innocent life in a violent world. So yeah, आज के time में भी definitely it fits into today's world when we're talking about instability in West Asia. And today we discussed about how even that is an important factor having an impact on the instability equally in the Eastern region or the Indo-Pacific region. It is connected to again the entire world as we're talking about the wider regional conflict, be it related to again the impacts. जैसे हमने बात करी थी कि it is a three-tier war. First tier is direct, the involved parties, Israel against Palestine or Israel attacking Hamas and then Hezbollah. Second layer is the proxy players, US and Iran. Third layer or the third tier is the countries who are not directly participating, but they are facing the impact of it. For example, India, talking about how crude oil prices have been increasing, or even the trade routes becoming much more expensive, as we saw that there is increased cost of 20% because of the long trade routes that is to be taken. So she's also a biographer of women's experiences. So White Book examines poetry of life and death, surrounds her pregnancy and her childhood. So these are her important contributions, and she's been awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature. So जैसे अभी तो हम we are addressing it as Nobel Prize, but it is called as Sveriges's Riksbank Prize in Economic Sciences. ये जाता है अगेन इकोनॉमिक्स का जो नोबेल प्राइज है उसको हम एक्चुअल जो नेम है उसका ये पूरा नेम ये है इन मेमोरी ऑफ अल्फ्रेड नोबेल 2024. तो नोबेल प्राइजेस छत्तीसगढ़
इसमें जेजू मैसेकर है ना, इट वाज अ जनरल स्ट्राइक of the Workers' Party of the South Korea against the American military in 1948-49, which led to the death of several thousands of workers.
ये तो उन्होंने फोकस किया इस पे थ्रू द लेंस ऑफ फीमेल रिलेशनशिप्स.
हाँ,
हम्म.
हैनकैन ने इसमें ट्रॉमा के ऊपर काम किया है. ट्रॉमा हो गया, फिर पास्ट जो भी डिस्क्रिमिनेशन हो गया, तो विद उस पर.
So Chhattisgarh will succeed in eliminating Naxalism by 2026. Earlier, Naxals would say this is our government. So we can talk about overall how developmental measures have been able to uproot the Naxalites working in the Red Corridor region, be it related to construction of roads, reaching the last mile, or even carrying out periodic elections in those rural and the backward areas, availability and construction of schools in those regions. So people have been able to actually feel the how benefits or the government schemes actually it is working for the welfare, and once those benefits reaches them, so there the older the orthodox belief, which we can say even the Naxalites were misguiding them, or they were trying to even misuse or utilize them to again further their own objective, now is breaking. So overall, like it is there, Naxalites, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, Rajasthan. So Naxal problem, like for example, like election campaign several times. So we can talk about even just our double engine government or the role of again local administration. Like we're talking about DM or even like the district reserve guards, STF soldiers. They've been very important, or specialized forces who've played important role. Like local population say he we see recruitments in the DRGs. So they're better aware about the problem. They're better aware about the micro details. जैसे हमने सुरगुजा डिवीजन की बात करी, ये हमने पर्टिकुलरली सुरगुजा मॉडल की बात करी थी इन टर्म्स ऑफ रिड्यूसिंग द केसेस ऑफ एनीमिया. सो वहां पे हमने कम्युनिटी नेटवर्क सपोर्ट की स्ट्रेंथ की बात करी, या फिर इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ स्क्रीनिंग फर्स्टली टू आइडेंटिफाई द राइजिंग प्रॉब्लम ऑफ एनीमिया. योर गुड विलेज. सो अगेन लोगों तक पहुंचाना कि अगेन इट इज एवरीथिंग इज रिलेटेड टू यू. यहाँ पे गवर्नमेंट या ऐसा कुछ जैसे हम बात करते हैं ओनिंग का या फिर रूलर का, वैसा नहीं. पीपल आर द मोस्ट पावरफुल. तो नेम्स है लाइक टू डिविजन्स, बस्तर डिवीजन की हम ज्यादा बात करते हैं, सुखवाड़, दंतेवाड़ा, बीजापुर. So security camps, open 34 security camps. So far 96 villages have been covered. आधार कार्ड है या जैम ट्रिनिटी की हम बात करते हैं, ration cards, Aadhaar card, mobile towers, they are now functional. So government schemes, they are delivered to the last mile. So we can say one of the, again, benefits of technology also through which we've been able to reach those regions. So state government level पे भी schemes है, नियाद नलनार scheme is there. तो वहाँ से roads, electricity, water जो basic services है, they've been able to reach people. So people have been able to feel major changes in their way of living. They feel more secure also when they are better now connected with the government and the administration. So ultimately, everyone wants peace. So that's how we can say moving towards that direction. So even like ITI centers, they are being opened up. So companies that are coming to the state have been asked to skill the people. प्राइवेट सेक्टर की बात हो जाए, सो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट स्कीम्स, मुद्रा योजना है, स्वानिधि स्कीम, विश्वकर्मा योजना.
जिसमें वी कैन से कि जो पॉलिटिकल विल है to remove the Naxalism, it is not only with the help of security forces, but also developmental schemes.
राइट.
तभी उन्होंने बोला कि we are not removing Naxalism. He is saying that Naxali will themselves say कि we are part of the government. तो ये दिखाते हैं कि इसको इंटीग्रेटिव अप्रोच है एक तरह से.
देन चाइना इंडिया न्यू दिल्ली क्वाड डिलेमा. सो अभी हमने काफी डिस्कशन किया अबाउट आसियान. सो इन दैट ओनली वी डिस्कस्ड अबाउट क्वाड आल्सो, या पूरा इंडो पैसिफिक रीजन. सो हेयर firstly, the state of India-China ties is again one of the challenges when we're talking about the Wilmington Declaration. Has certain overriding implications for India's and China's, for India's and India's security. India-China relations today not merely stalemated but also steadily deteriorating at the same time. Ganwal Valley clashes ho, yeah, the Dapsang plains in the Ladakh region, Demchok region. So important, we need to again locate them on the map also, the friction points. So again, recently we talked about कि China के साथ our strategy should be again uh, it should be like related to coexistence, cooperation, and बहुत सारे like keywords I'm not able to recall all of them. So it is again a mixture of all these. Conflict भी है. So one is this challenge, bilateral challenge. China's arrogance, misplaced, otherwise is legendary. So it is again true that China greatly depends on element of surprise to achieve the best results for itself. So it is prudent for India to proceed with care in dealings with China on one hand and with its quad partners on the other, because quad को again एक argument ये भी बोली जाती है कि quad is again to deal with China, या जैसे quad को बोला जाता है कि इंडो पैसिफिक रीजन का NATO है, या एशियन NATO is quad. Aggressive nationalism. So here we, as we talk about walk the talk, या फिर जब हम बॉर्डर इश्यूज को सॉल्व करने की बात करते हैं, तो वी आर adopting the approach of de-escalation and de-engagement of the disengagement of the ties, specifically along the border. So aggressive brand of Chinese nationalism. Rationality is not something to be expected of China in any situation. So read the tea leaves correctly in dealings with China is one thing. So China's posture, it can be inferred that the border issue with India and Himalayas does not represent real threat to China's sovereignty and its future. बट इंडिया के लिए ऐसा नहीं है. इंडिया के लिए इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट बिकॉज चाहे टेरिटोरियल क्लेम्स हो चाइना के, बीट इन अगेन लद्दाख या फिर पैंगोंगसो रीजन में अगर हम बोलते हैं, या फिर even in the Arunachal Pradesh, जैसे we saw that recently they released a map which was claiming certain territories from Arunachal Pradesh. तो इंडिया के लिए it is a concern. हमारी sovereignty, हमारी territorial integrity is very important. So China believes to be so, but there are no proofs to prove the same. India's strategic community has understood this for a long time. So even जब हम vibrant villages program की बात करते हैं, तो that is also one of the ways of ensuring that there is peace and development at the same time in the border areas. Beijing's view, coalition of the willing. So जब हम बात करते हैं, the backdrop of China's increasing concerns over India's association with the Quad, seen by it as a US sponsored coalition of willing. तो क्वाड को चाइना ऐसे देखता है. सो बस यहाँ यही बोला जा रहा है कि इंडिया नीड्स टू टेक केयर ऑफ कि चाइना का क्या स्टैंड है, या फिर वी नीड टू एक्ट अकॉर्डिंगली. बट इवन व्हेन वी टॉकिंग अबाउट
ये
क्वाड
कीवर्ड लिखा हुआ है कि क्लियरली इंडिया हैज नो इंटेंशन ऑफ बीइंग पार्ट ऑफ एनी पिंचर मूवमेंट डायरेक्टेड एट चाइना एंड इट्स फ्यूचर एम्बिशन। इसका मतलब कि इंडिया मेक्स द क्वाड मोर इंक्लूसिव, इट मेक्स द क्वाड more catering to the developmental goals of that region as well as containing China। लेकिन इसका मतलब नहीं कि it is helping Quad to become anti-China, बस
यही
कंटेन
है.
के लिए।
India's future is hardly dependent on checkmating China's ambitions.
हाँ,
It is not.
rather than being anti-China।
That's how our foreign policy is not directed in this manner. Okay, so take the gauntlet. So Kavach.
इसमें था कवच,
हाँ.
कवच इम्प्लीमेंटेशन इज प्रायोरिटी, मतलब कि ओवरऑल कवच इज रिक्वायर्ड और 15,000 करोड़ से ऊपर चाहिए टू मेक इट 100%। 100%। लेकिन प्रॉब्लम क्या है, कवच वर्क्स ओनली बिटवीन ट्रेन टू ट्रेन। उसमें फिर जो ट्रैक्स में जो इशू आते इसके कारण अभी रेलवे एक्सीडेंट हुआ इन चेन्नई। इवन बोल सकते हैं कि कवच डज नॉट वर्क बिटवीन एनिमल ह्यूमन कॉन्फ्लिक्ट, जो ट्रेन जब एक्सीडेंट होता है उसमें भी। तो बस एक प्रायोरिटी है, सिल्वर बुलेट नहीं है विद रिगार्डिंग टू होल सेफ्टी प्रिकॉशन।
हम्म. So even कल हमने बात करी थी कि गवर्नमेंट investigations now they are including counter terrorism investigators as well in the railway accidents. So कहीं ना कहीं even जब हम साइबर वॉरफेयर की भी बात करते हैं, तो even that is one of the angles जो इम्पैक्ट कर सकते हैं. तो इट इज अ पार्ट ऑफ अ क्रिटिकल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर. जैसे हम पावर लाइंस की बात करते हैं, तो इवन रेलवेज इज ऑल्सो इम्पोर्टेंट.
तो इसमें ऐड किया गया कि ठीक है, एक तो हो गया पूरा कवच वाले सिस्टम हो गया, दूसरा कि जो ह्यूमन एलिमेंट आता है वो कहीं ना कहीं वर्किंग आवर्स दे आर वेरी लॉन्ग। 12 आवर्स शिफ्ट है, अनहाइजेनिक रेस्टिंग फैसिलिटी है, इवन टॉयलेट भी नहीं है इंजन में। तो ये दिखाते हैं कि रेलवे सेफ्टी है, इट इज़ नॉट ओनली अ फायर फाइटिंग अप्रोच कि आप जब एक्सीडेंट होता है तभी आप चेंजेस ला रहे हो, रादर देन इट इज़ अ होल 360 डिग्री एंगल की हर एक चीज़ में इसको इम्प्रूव करना होगा।
Critical message for the urban elite. Real challenge lies in breaking free from the comfort trap which is there, reconnecting with our cities, Even when we're talking about the impact of social media, that has changed the entire lifestyle of the people. और when we're talking about again, हमने इस element की भी बात करी थी, the materialistic objectives or the vision of the people, particularly in the urban and the elite areas, that has also created a problem. Luxury lifestyle जैसे यहाँ लिखा ही है. Tech-enabled ecosystem has redefined concept of luxury, creating a comfort trap. जैसे work from home हो गया एक. Our technology-enabled ecosystem could be making our cities unlivable. So worsening urban conditions make the outdoor engagement unbearable, which further increases reliance on technology. तो उसकी वजह से जैसे air pollution when we talk about कि winters में ज़्यादा हो जाते हैं, तो even जो MNCs हैं, even they go ahead with कि ज़्यादा work from home होना चाहिए. Broader societal implications हैं इसके can be alarming. तो चाहे बात हो again sedentary lifestyle की increasing non-communicable diseases, the risk associated with them, which will directly impact the quality of the labor force or the demographic dividend, is one thing. So, poor urban planning remains unchecked in part because the privileged who have more influence, they are less affected. So diminishing their incentive to push for a change, like grocery delivery apps, the 10-minute delivery apps, को बाहर ही नहीं जाना पड़ेगा. Ride-hailing apps encourages us to take cabs for shorter distances. This is another second example. So app ecosystem, our thriving app ecosystem, but India may we see labor surplus economy hai, has not been widely discussed in public discourse. So there's a mismatch in this. How it has been again replacing jobs at the same time, but creating more of jobs in particularly we can say gig economy sector. So gig economy may we talked about ki again we need a proper comprehensive dedicated law when it comes to recognizing the rights of the gig workers, the safety and even social security benefits, making them more formalized, we can say. So urban planning firstly can help us in terms of again so technology ही problem है, technology ही solution. So designs की चाहे हम बात करें like because of again जब हम environmental aspect की बात करते हैं तो carbon emitting human activities है, तो urban designing can be very beneficial. Like recently we are seeing a shift towards like uh, even जो ash based bricks and they are being used more in the real estate sector. Corporate hubs में like Gurugram, sleek glass buildings while modern and attractive लगती हैं बाहर से, but they are trapping heat जो greenhouse energy effect होता है, increases energy consumption. तो इसमें भी हमने देखा कि कैसे technology या designing में कि instead of using first these glasses, they are first fitting the solar panels and उसको बाहर से glass से cover कर रहे हैं. And then lack of green cover. Marginalized है सबसे ज्यादा bear the brunt of this. So चाहे heat stress or dehydration, individuals face the harshest consequence of poor urban planning. So overall एक तरीके से urban planning and then technology की हम बात करते हैं as a solution also. This we have talked a number of times. Noble for determining protein structure recognizes a big advance. X-band radar in Wayanad, Kerala. Doppler radar क्या होता है, वो कैसे करता है, very important from the perspective of science topic. X-band radar क्या है then? So indigenously designed किया गया है, manufactured and installed. So India is increasing the procurement and installment of these radars. So radar क्या है? It is a short for radio detection and ranging. So ये radio waves को use करते हैं to determining, for example, the distance, velocity, physical characteristics कोई object की हो या कोई device की. So here IMD they have started using these radars for the weather applications. From 1950s they've been using it. So हमने अपना indigenously we have designed and manufactured the X-band storm detection radar, which can further help in again giving us hyper localized weather forecasting. And initiative to install this in Wayanad It included installing a C-band radar जो कि 4 to 8 gigahertz के बैंड में फ्रीक्वेंसी में लाई करेगा विद एन ऑब्जर्वेशनल रेंज ऑफ 250 किलोमीटर्स इन बेंगलुरु. And then further, we are talking about NISAR. So NASA or ISRO ka currently we are developing this NISAR satellite. So this would be having this major, इसमें जो we see the changes, synthetic aperture radar. तो ये radar जो है, this is high resolution, having high resolution characteristics and the features. So इसमें जैसे we talk about कि clouds कोई hindrance हो सकती है, bad weather में it will not be working. तो ऐसा नहीं है, it will be working in any type of harsh condition. So this is the main benefit of synthetic aperture radar. So it will be expected to be launched by GSLV Mark II rocket in 2025. So India में कितने radars हैं? So we have replaced 10 outdated X-band radar. तो हम पहले भी X-band radars ही use कर रहे थे, but अभी major change ये है कि we have shifted it to indigenization. So Ministry of Earth Sciences, important role. ISRO की हमने बात करी, important role. IMD is an important role. And Doppler radars की particularly अगर हम बात करते हैं तो Doppler radars, common application of this device is the changes in the frequency of sound waves, the source moving towards. जैसे distance में अगर हम Doppler radars use करते हैं, जैसे ships में fitted होते हैं, to detect कि नीचे कुछ अगर हमने discover किया है, तो the time the radio waves are taking to again reflect back, उससे we can talk about. Even किसी device में अगर हमें cracks detect करनी है, जो कि उसके internal region में अगर हमें करना है, तो वहां पे भी Doppler effect use होता है. So pulse Doppler radars can measure intensity of rainfalls also by emitting radiation in pulses. So they're very important given the climate change and the changing rainfall patterns with intensity, frequency, hyperlocalized rainfall or torrential rainfall and cloud bursts. So when it comes to the political parties and their symbols or the logo, so who gets the preferred symbol when there are two factions? So again, a nationalist Congress party, they filed a plea to restrain the use of the clock symbol. So here NCP you talk about led by Sharad Pawar has filed a plea in Supreme Court directing to restrain Ajit Pawar faction. So two factions हैं, led by Sharad Pawar and another by Ajit Pawar using the clock symbol. तो लॉट कैसे होते हैं सिंबल्स टू पॉलिटिकल पार्टी? सो इट इज बाय द प्रोविजंस ऑफ सिंबल्स ऑर्डर ऑफ इलेक्शन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया. And symbols क्यों important है? Because again we are the largest democracy, still we are again seeing challenge, हमारे sizable population still illiterate. तो symbols एक तरीके से better for remembrance also, आपके mind में symbol से आप याद रख सकते हो rather than or if we go to higher standards जैसे यहाँ पे illiterate population है, तो it is having more symbolic importance. So crucial role in canvassing and voting process also, जब आप vote करते हो तो it can be again आप identify कर सकते हो on the basis of symbols. So recognized political parties होती हैं, they have reserved symbol. It is not allotted to any other candidate या any other political party in that constituency. तो recognized political parties है. Recognized भी again election commission of India का ही major function है. सो एनसीपी जो है रीजनल पॉलिटिकल पार्टी इज प्रेजेंट इन स्टेट रिकॉग्नाइज्ड पार्टी है महाराष्ट्र और नागालैंड में एनसीपी. सो देयर वाज अ स्प्लिट अजीत पवार फैक्शन एंड द शरद पवार फैक्शन के बीच में. सो पास्ट इंस्टेंसेस की भी यहाँ बात की गई, एग्जांपल्स की, लाइक PCI decides as to which faction or group is recognized as a political party. Recognized political party को वो symbol allot किया जाएगा. And also Election Commission of India can also freeze the symbols for determining the disputes. So जैसे AIDMK पार्टी का तमिलनाडु में 2 leaf symbol है, this was frozen. And 2017 में due to competing claims, तो bow and arrow is the again जो शिवसेना again ये dispute हुआ था in Maharashtra. So we have Supreme Court judgment also related to this, Sadiq Ali versus Election Commission of India 1971. तो 3 test formula है determining कौन से faction को would be declared as the recognized and the original political party. So these are like पहले aims and objectives क्या है पार्टी के? Affairs as per the party's constitution reflect inner party democracy. Third, majority in legislative and organization wings. तो ये 3 टेस्ट फॉर्मूला है. So are the US cybersecurity concerns over Chinese electric vehicles justified or not? Because we have seen that not just USA, but even other European countries, they are completely banning the imports of electric vehicles manufactured in China. So one is the cybersecurity concerns related to it. For example, when you're talking about like EVs, they rely more on technological features. So इसलिए the vulnerability and risk also increases. Like ADAS feature होता है, advanced driver assistance systems, autopilot mode होता है, auto park या geo fencing, या even जब हम बात करते हैं semiconductor chips की, so they are also very very important raw materials. So how strong is the global presence of Chinese EV? So is this decision even justified when it comes to meeting the self-sufficiency also, or meeting the demand in the domestic economy? Because China is one of the largest manufacturer of again EVs. So because of again connected car technology is the concern, current global EV market dynamics, that's how it has been shaping. But यहाँ पे concern हमने ये भी देखा था कि the countries are going ahead with banning the EVs and they are allowing more FDI from China. So how justified this would be, like जैसे companies, Chinese company BYD है, Xiaomi हो गया या Li Auto. So these are certain examples of Chinese companies. So companies don't much of success because the Chinese government, yeah, they have given them tax breaks and subsidies are being provided to them. So EV software a concern रहेगा when it comes to again national security. So exploitation hackers, they can exploit the software to gain control of the vehicle systems. तो उसकी वजह से possibly collisions भी हो सकते हैं. It can immobilize entire fleets. तो entire supply chain or even जो supply chain dependent है particularly on the road transportation, that can come to a halt. तो जो data है, collection of data, storage of data, transmission, use of data, वो बहुत बड़ा concern है. Poor cyber security in EVs, एक ये भी possibly makes them easy targets. तो जैसे स्मार्टफोन्स की हम बात करते हैं या फिर जो इंटरनेट मॉडेम्स की हम बात करते हैं, सेम कंसर्न अब हम इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल्स में देख रहे हैं. तो थ्रेट टू क्रिटिकल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर ऑफ अ कंट्री. Precision medicine in India cannot advance without biobank laws. So, two keywords, precision medicine and biobank laws are needed. तो बायोलॉजिकल सैंपल्स अलॉन्ग विद द जेनेटिक डेटा प्रिजर्वेशन जो मेन रोल होगा बायो बैंक्स का, तो बायो बैंक्स को रेगुलेट करने के लिए भी वी शुड हैव डेडिकेटेड यूनिफॉर्म लॉ. सो कंसेंटिंग इंडिविजुअल से फर्स्टली सैंपल्स कलेक्ट किए जाएंगे फॉर इवन रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट. और प्रिसिशन मेडिसिन को सक्सीड करने के लिए अगेन लार्ज स्केल पे वी नीड बायो बैंक्स टू इवन लाइक diversify. Only small section of society will benefit from the research so that there is equitable benefit sharing. So that is why the role of biobanks is important. For example, अगर हम जैसे gene editing, mRNA, कल भी हमने mRNA का important role बात किया था कि mRNA actually helps in or it contains the genetic sequence. So that is why इसका preservation important है. Its ethical usage will be again the factor, the concerns related to it. So like in UK also, individuals diabetes was reversed by transplanting re-engineered stem cells. So all these things are connected: stem cells, gene editing, and mRNA. So still there are certain gaps which exist in India. Participants do not know how data will be used, how it will be accessed, for how long it will be stored. So right to deletion of data should also be an important element of fundamental right to privacy at the same time. So Personal Data Protection Act, at the same time, this is also connected to it. So strong data and privacy protections will encourage more people to share their samples. Otherwise, people will not be coming forward for the same. So even data localization जो हमने बात करी थी under the Personal Data Protection Act, that is there. So एक concern उस law से related ये था कि deemed consent होगा. People will not be again they will not be able to give their consent. Deemed consent hai. So it is by default, it will be understood ki deemed consent hai. So that was also a concern related to it. So chahe UK, US, Japan, China, many European countries, they have laws, comprehensive legislations, regulations are related to it. So our regulations are inconsistent. Biobanks India mein, there are 19 registered biobanks in India. Their biological species genome India program is there. It is finished sequencing 10,000 genomes. So now what about their security is the concern. So Phenom India project hai, it is collected again 10,000 samples. Then we also have pediatric rare genetic disorders mission is there, identifying new genes. So even जैसे हमने अभी rare diseases की भी बात करी थी, तो उसमें भी और higher scale के research and development के लिए ultimately it is leading us to security of data. So national ethical guidelines for biomedical and health research involving human participants by Department of Biotechnology for again ICMR ka role important. Data storage and analysis of the data. So there are certain gaps in this. So it is an important part of the right to privacy of the individuals ultimately. And even like Central Drug Standard Control Organization, they have approved next CAR 19. So this is also India's domestically developed CAR T cell therapy. जो हमने देखा था, it is important for the treatment of cancer. So role of again private sector when it comes to private healthcare facilities. So regulation of their role in terms of ensuring equitable benefit sharing, but at the same time security of data would be important. So 36% national bioeconomy alongside cancer, immunotherapy, gene editing, biologics is contributed to bio E3 policy. So leadership opportunity भी हमारे पास at the same time we have it. Monte Carlo methods क्या होते हैं? Frequently used to estimate the odds of an event occurring when doing so by other means is too difficult. So this helps us in identifying the odds of an event and helps in preventing it. So algorithm itself will require a lot of computing power. So they have applications in aerodynamics, power plant designs, quantum mechanics, several areas of engineering, risk estimating. So they are searching, the miners are searching for gold metal in illegal mining sites in the Ghana. So this is Puni Valley in Western region, Ghana. So there was a question also this year in prelims. So Ghana, यहाँ पे gold के we can search more about this topic. Classrooms of connection. So यहाँ पे भी we can talk about, it is not just restricted to again schools. Classrooms of connection, social media की भी हम बात कर सकते हैं. We can also talk about this related to the workspace at the same time. So यहाँ particularly जैसे multicultural education को चाहे larger scale पे बात करें हम teach करने के, making a part of the modern pedagogy, we cannot have truly inclusive classes. So inclusive classes, again, not just on the basis of technology, because again, digital divide still is a challenge for us. And like international customers, एक ये potential benefit हो सकता है. So it will be not just restricted to multicultural education in India, but global level पे. So we believe in this maxim, Vasudev Kutumbakam, we must indeed pause to think whether we practice this or not. Blurring lines because of technology is thing. So चाहे professional sphere हो, workspace हो, classrooms हो, तो connected classrooms of connection. So educators must be transformed to become culturally responsive through professional development workshops and teacher education programs. Like India, we have Diksha platform, and one is for again particularly for the teachers training as well. So emotional well-being पे जो pandemic का impact हो particularly on Gen Z and generation Alpha is of concern. So traditional views on mental health हमारे वो भी change हुए हैं. So inclusivity will depend upon how much are we able to connect with the last mile, the students who are living in the far-flung areas. Welcome delay first for AQI Air Quality Index Day mid October. तो here we are talking about again the same problem in Delhi, particularly during winter season. So picture may we can see the smog and anti-smog gun, but how effective is it to curb the air pollution is the question. Carry out periodic mechanized sweeping, water sprinkling on roads, poor implementation of dust mitigation measures, intensifying use of anti-smog, regular lifting of municipal solid waste, strictly enforcing prohibition on open burning of biomass. So ये short term measure क्यों होते हैं? इनको हम लॉन्ग टर्म में इम्प्लीमेंट क्यों नहीं कर सकते? तो कमीशन फॉर एयर क्वालिटी मैनेजमेंट and grab again, this is a short term measure. So it is not just related to again the stubble burning, it is equally responsible, or we are seeing that main reason in particularly Delhi's air pollution is seen to be the transport emissions. So higher density of vehicles, again, that can be better dealt with. Again, the public infrastructure, the public transportation that we have, like metro, or when talking about even the the electric buses which are being run. So another areas can be related to the construction industry and then waste disposal. So in waste disposal, we are seeing again like engineered landfill sites, they are being constructed. So meteorological department and Institute of Tropical Meteorology. So forecasting by them again, they are giving us data on this. तो लॉन्ग टर्म मेजर्स इज अगेन, तो पॉलिटिकल विल की जब हम बात करते हैं तो इट शुड बी लॉन्ग टर्म कमिटमेंट. So auroras, again, we had one question related to this. So Ladakh auroras validate space weather tracking. So auroras की जब हम importance की बात करते हैं तो right now like जैसे it can be related to promotion of more tourism. तो rare red colored aurora was observed over the Hanley Dark Sky Reserve जो कि लद्दाख में located है. तो auroras happens because of again the interaction of the charged and the ionized particles because of the magnetic storms which emerges from the solar surface with the magnetosphere of India's atmosphere. So because of the interaction with these ionized particles, we see such light phenomena. So in the southern hemisphere, it is called as, I think, aurora australis, and in northern it is aurora borealis. सो यहाँ पे फर्दर ऑरोराज हमें कैसे हेल्प कर सकते हैं? दे वैलिडेट स्पेस वेदर ट्रैकिंग में हमें, और नेक्स्ट लेवल जो रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट में है, दे कैन कॉन्ट्रीब्यूट टू दैट. लाइक सेंटर ऑफ एक्सेलेंस इन स्पेस साइंसेज इंडिया, इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ साइंसेज एजुकेशन, तो दे आर वैलिडेशन दैट वी आर ऑन द राइट ट्रैक. It boosts the confidence to predict extreme weather events in space that can potentially endanger all kinds of satellite-based services on the Earth. So that's how they can contribute. So consultation soon to draw a roadmap for the laptop import policy. So Make in India, तो laptop import policy की बात हो रही है कि यहाँ पे भी हम डोमेस्टिक मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपमेंट की चाहे बात करें या फिर आईटी हार्डवेयर की बात करें, तो इवन पीएलआई स्कीम बिकम्स इम्पोर्टेंट अंडर मेक इन इंडिया एंड कर्बिंग द इम्पोर्ट्स, बिकॉज इम्पोर्ट्स भी बहुत ज्यादा हैं. So far जो हमारा regime है, do not restrict imports and it is based on data of imports. Further course of action will be decided on this. So import authorization mechanism is one component of it, and regime requires IT hardware firms like Lenovo, HP, all of these, they will be to only register with the government, declare value or quantity of imports वो कितना उनको permitted है. To protect domestic manufacturing, promote more jobs, because यहाँ पे भी labor intensive sector में we can create more jobs, more competitiveness. Again, it is related to technology, so it is related to our national security concern at the same time. So nationwide optical fiber network likely cost 35,000 crore rupees. So it will be offering a seamless connectivity, particularly digital connectivity in the far-flung regions at the same time. So it is working on the principle of total internal reflection. Optical fiber network, public-private partnership के through it would be